everyone, and thank you, IAB, for having me. My name is Bob Lord, and I am IBM's Senior Vice President overseeing the Weather Company and Watson Advertising, as well as some of our key alliances. So you've heard a lot about leadership in the last few days, and today I'm going to challenge the leadership that's here. We have the chance to lead the entire industry to become a more fair and create a more equitable future, and in turn, create a more fair and equitable society. And my question is, as I go through my talk, will you take on this challenge with me? I'm talking about bias in advertising. I believe it's one of the most pressing and most pervasive challenges in the advertising industry today. Bias has been ingrained into our industry for over 4 years, and it reinforces society's prejudices. It plagues nearly every aspect of advertising and casts a shadow on our work. And we have the opportunity, I believe, as an industry to fix it by rebuilding from the ground up the right way. And the reason is, as we all know, advertising is undergoing major disruption in the face of privacy laws, consumer behavior, and rapid shifts in digital. Traditional identifiers from big tech players will eventually be a thing of the past. And it gives us the opportunity to hit the reset button on targeting to enact a widespread cultural shift and build bias detection into the fabric of ad tech and our media plans. That's why we've engaged Watson Advertising and IBM Research to initiate a study based on the basic principles around the scientific method. And that all starts with a very simple hypothesis. The hypothesis is twofold. One, bias exists in advertising today. And number two, we can use AI tools to identify and help mitigate it. So I'm pleased to say our initial findings are promising. Number one, we validated that bias does exist in our advertising programs today, and that by using some open source tools, we can mitigate bias using AI tools and resources. Now, this only works if we come together as an industry and rally around this cause. Let me take a step back and talk to you about why it is so important and so timely. As our reliance on automatic selection and segmentation increases, more critical decisions are being made by machines and the algorithms we all have created. What starts out to be something small in a campaign and unintentional is captured and scaled to the point of no return. Let me put a fine point on that. Bias shows up in two main ways. One impacts our business, and the other is much more dire. From a business standpoint, we're leaving audience segments on the table, meaning we're underperforming in our jobs because we're not getting to all the segments that we could get to. And that, quite honestly, is just bad business. And number two, bias in advertising has real life consequences for consumers and their place in society. Consider the concept of food deserts. When a fast food campaign is amplified disproportionately within a food desert, it reinforces a social wrong. And it drives these consumers away from their already limited healthy food options. We're allowing campaigns that we've created to reach consumers without nuance or important social context that can have societal impact. If we can stop this from happening, why shouldn't we? Well, the answer is yes, and of course we should. And I believe the time to act is now. It makes sense that IBM is leading the charge around bias in advertising. We've seen it happen in other industries where we've used these tools. We have a 100-year legacy of problem solving, and we're the only open tech company facing bias in advertising head on. We're conducting our research using open source tools and algorithms that are available to everyone. From IBM's Research Trusted AI initiative, it's a long-standing mission to ensure AI systems built in the future are fair, robust, and explainable. And we also know that the industry collaboration is critical to scaling AI for advertisers to use across the open web. As co-chair of IAB's AI Standards Working Group, IBM Watson Advertising has helped set the standard for responsible AI use, and we're grateful for IAB's leadership and partnership in this effort. Also key to this success was our first data partner, the Ad Council. They gave us access to data from a message testing effort within It's Up to You, the largest vaccination awareness campaign in history. Through this collaboration, we studied the possible presence of unintended bias in the algorithms and data. We've learned a lot so far and validated our hypothesis based on this data. But however, we must continue to research, experiment, and iterate. That's why IBM, and I ask all of you, are asking brands to join our research initiative. Right now, we need agency and brand partners to share campaign data for us to study, with the ultimate goal of creating powerful open technologies that can help automate bias mitigation. This is how we work together to make a better industry and a better world. It must be an ecosystem-wide effort encompassing every team, function, brand, agency, and ad tech provider, and it starts with leaders like you and me. We have a long road ahead of us, but we know what the finish line looks like. When our vision is fully realized, we will have scalable approaches to bias identification and mitigation in the form of toolkits, processes, education, and IBM Watson advertising products. I know this won't be easy, but from where I sit and the experience I've had at IBM, we can accomplish this. It'll be tough. It will be required for us to get out of our own way, to overcome barriers, to challenge the status quo. Let's make good on our commitment to champion equity and leave unmitigated bias in the past. I ask you as leaders, are you in with me?